Hello, everybody. Good day. We are the reporter for today. I am Joshua A. Toquero and my partner is Charmed Tipaet. And our topic for today's discussion is all about action research in the classroom. And also, we will tackle about the teacher as action researcher. So let's start. So at the end of this, the learner should be able to enhance competencies in conducting action research, operationalize action research as a determinant to effective teaching and classroom management, and conduct action research in line with the rollout implementation of the K-12 program. So these are the objectives of this lesson. So introduction. The Department of Education, in collaboration with government agencies and stakeholders, has developed the K-12 Basic Education Program. Dr. Stephen Waters Adams, 2006, clarifies the use of action research to it. Okay, so the Department of Education, they make a collaboration with the government agencies and stakeholders to develop the K-12 basic education to use the action research. Okay, so why? Here is the reasons. Because you want to change your practice. You may be concerned that things might not be going as you wish, or you may need to implement a new initiative but you are unsure how to do it effectively. What you want is a way of sorting out these concerns that offers practical solutions, but that derived from specific circumstances of your practice. Okay, so you know that someone else's solution may have merit, but it is never quite right for the individual situation within which you work. So you know that practice is always influenced by context. Okay, to fully understand this action research, so let's define first what is action research. So what is action research? So action research is about teachers striving to understand and to improve their practice. Okay, so this is kind of a research where teachers give a time to understand and improve their teaching practice. It also lead on to collaboration and a critique of situation in which the practice is carried out. But this does not have to be a fundamental aim. So action research involves the gathering of evidence about practice. It also strives to be systematic and rigorous. So if you ask, why do we use action research? So if action research, we use action research to generate knowledge around inquiry in practical education context. So in action research, it allows us educators to learn through their actions with the purpose of developing personally or professionally. So, due to its participatory nature, the process of action research is also distinct in educational research. So that is action research. So we have here principle of triangulation. So first, it has observation of interactions, interview with the learners, and analysis of learners' work. So if we say triangulation, it is the triangulating the data from the findings. It is a research technique used often in qualitative studies to demonstrate the dependability of findings by examining the data from multiple perspectives. So triangulation is the process of comparing separate sources of findings to look consistencies and discrepancies. So that is triangulations. So let us go first on observations of interactions. So it includes observation. Okay, so observation is used to input data plus possibly tractable computation in such a way that the observer has no effect on the source of data. Also, if we say interaction, it is observation plus action. Okay, observation plus actions that affects the source of the data. So that is observation of interactions. If we say interview with the learners, so this includes questionnaires, questions, which we gathered information or data from the students. And lastly, analysis of learners' work. So after gathering the data, we should analyze student. Okay, so analyzing student works, it will gives us educators information about the students, about their understanding, about their concept, and about their skills. And also, it can help them to make instructional decision for improving student learning. So that is the triangulation. So here are the principle of triangulation. So it may be included in the vignettes or gathering of data for the action research. So action research can be used to investigate everyday issues and problems experienced by the teachers. Okay, so the following may help the teachers reflect on their concern to improve the teaching learning process. So, first, structured or semi-structured interviews. So if we say structured interviews, so these are the questions that are predetermined. Okay, so kabalo na sila in both topic and order. So, unsay first na question, what is the second question, and so on. If we say semi-structured interviews, these are the few questions that are predetermined. So, gamay ra ang na-determine. But, other questions aren't planned. So, that is the difference between the two. Second, class records. So, it will help teachers to reflect on what are the problems of their students. Why they will go absent, why they didn't want to go to school, and so on. Third, audio and video tape recording. Fourth, field notes. Fifth, written and artwork. So, teacher will determine on what are the weaknesses of their students. And lastly, observation in the classroom, playing field, and school canteen. So these are the following that will help the teachers to reflect on their concern to improve the teaching learning process on the school.
Action Research Cycle, Ference 2000. 5 phases of action research design are as follows. First is identify the problem. Second is gather data. Third is interpret data. Fourth is act on evidence. Fifth is evaluate results. And last is the next step. So in identifying data or identifying the problem, the process begins when in identifying an area of teaching and learning that you are concerned about or what you want to address. In gather the data, before you begin to implement your plan of action, you need to determine what data will you understand if your plan succeeds and how you will gather that data, and also your target performances will help you determine what you want to achieve. The next step is in the process is to interpret your data. Interpreting the data during the collection process can help you refine your action plan. Is the data you are collecting is sufficient? So, sufficient ba ang data na imong gi-collect? And if not, you have an opportunity to revise it. So if dili sufficient ang data nga imong gi-collect, pwede rin nimo ma-revise ang imong data collection plan. Your analysis of the data will also help you identify attitudes and performances to look for during subsequent observations. Next is act on evidence. Using the information from the data collection and review of current literature, design a plan of action that will allow you to make a change and to study that change. It is important that only one variable be altered. And next is evaluate results. As a result of the action research project, identify additional questions raised by the data and plan for additional improvements, revisions, and next steps. So after nimo mag-gather sa results, and you will going to improve your data. So naa kay i-revise. And the last step is the next step. It is the how you assess the effects of the intervention to determine if improvement has occurred. Is there is improvement or the data clearly provide the supporting evidence? And if not, what changes can be made to the actions to elicit better results? And according to the researcher, the action researcher views the classroom as a small society with patterns and beliefs, power relationship, and standards for academic performance and the student behavior. Moral climate influences classroom environment. The view of the action researcher within the classroom is like a community with different beliefs, style, and attitude on learning. As an action researcher, you must be a keen observer of your students. You must be flexible because some students are fast learners and some are slow learners. Next slide is action research as professional inquiry. Action research is viewed as a practical approach to professional inquiry. There is a particular relevance to teachers engaged in their daily contact with the learners. So, when we say professional inquiry, collaboration is a very important element of the professional inquiry process. It should be based on your students' learning needs, your own learning needs, and the impact of your practice on student learning and achievement. So, mo ni siya na engagement sa teacher and also the learners. Action research may be qualitative and quantitative. So, mo ni siya sa action research ang gigamit nga method is quantitative and qualitative. Action research is not what usually comes to mind when we hear the word research. Action research is not a library project where we learn more about a topic that interests us. It is not a problem solving in the sense of trying to find out what is wrong, but rather a quest for knowledge about how to improve. So, an action research, it involves people working to improve their skills, techniques, and strategies. It is how we can do things better and how we can change instruction to impact students. So here are the types of action research. So the first type is individual teacher research. Individual teacher, ang main focus is ang single issue in the classroom. So, just like the use of instructional materials, students' learning and classroom management, and the possible support needed sa individual teacher is coach or mentor, access to technology, assistance with data organization and analysis. So, possible support needed is individual teachers' access to ICT. Its potential impact also is self improvement in the delivery of curriculum, instruction, and assessment. and its side effects is practice informed by data, information not always shared. Next type is collaborative action research. Main focus is single classroom or several of collective interest. So it may include few teachers interested in addressing a common classroom issue like trying out one strategy in different classes. And the possible support needed also is teachers access to ICT. So same ra sa individual teacher research kay access to technology ra gyapon. And also the potential impact of collaborative action research is self-improvement in the delivery of curriculum instruction and assessment, and also effective school policy and procedure. And the side effects is improved collegiality, formation of partnerships. Next is school-wide action research. In school-wide action research, its main focus also is school issue problem or area structures. So, ang main focus niya ang mga common issue to all in school such as parental involvement and organizational structure. And ang possible support needed niya kay school commitment, leadership, communication, and external partners. And its potential impact also is restructuring and change policy, parent involvement, evaluation of programs. And ang side effects is improved collegiality, collaboration, and communication team building. And lastly, is the district-wide action research. So, ang iyahang focus is district issue organizational. So, when we say district-wide, it is the entire school district. Ang iyahang possible support needed is district commitment, facilitator, recorder, communication, and external partners. And its potential impact is allocation of resources, professional development, activities, and organizational structures policy. And ang iyang side effects is improved collegiality, collaboration, and communication, team building, shared vision. So, as you can see sa side effects kay anam siya og kadaghan from individual to district-wide, ang iyang mga side effects is nag-anam siya og kadaghan. And the next slide is action research has shown that teachers who plan with regards to students' abilities and needs and who are flexible while teaching are more effective than teachers who are tightly focused on behavioral objects and coverage of facts. Darling Hammond, 1983. So, effective ang teaching sa teachers who plan their teaching about the abilities and needs of students. And being flexible kay sa teachers nga na-focus sa objectives and coverage of facts. So, mas madali ra ma-learn ang students if ang teacher kay flexible siya. And ang ilahang manage kay ang learning sa students. Kay ang uban magud teacher kay nag-focus ra siya sa mga behavioral objectives and coverage of facts. So, malimot ra ang mga students kung pirmi ra sila more on memorization. Next is, studies have found that flexibility, adaptability, and creativity are among the most important determinants of teachers' effectiveness. Teachers claim that they cannot connect with students' interests, needs, experiences, and motives. Effective teaching that leads to student engagement and learning cannot occur. So, as we all know, flexibility, adaptability, and creativity are the different skills that effective teacher had. So, teacher must possess those skills kay para ma-effective ang ilang teaching. Dili ma-learning students if dili hands-on ang ilahang teachers. So, dapat si teacher kay creative because ang students kay have different learning styles man. So, ikaw teacher, dapat na kay strategies para makater nimo ang mga needs sa students. And last is Action Research Ference 2000, an edition in a series of themes in education, shared that collegial interactions and reflections allow teachers to grow and gain confidence in their work. So, studies confirm that when action research becomes part of the school culture, teachers learn more about themselves, their students, colleagues, and there is an increased sharing of collaboration across departments, discipline, grade levels, and schools. So, in the next slide, these are the experiences teachers who attended trainings in action research. And these stories are from the field action research as follows. By doing our own action research, we could gain a better perspective into our own teaching and the students' learning. The changes that we would making in our teaching would come out of our own work. Perhaps most importantly, we would be working as a community of learners. So ang teacher kay dili ra siya teacher, they are also working as a community of learners. During the conference, we began to talk about a group of bilingual Cambodian students in our third and fourth grades who were non readers. Most of them are new to our school. They would, of course, be referred to special education for testing. The truth is, we see students such as this just about every year. At this age, time is short and the testing process is time consuming. I documented progress quantitatively and qualitatively each element of their task. That is, I counted and recorded the number of pages read during the 10-minute period and the number of words written during the remaining 40 minutes. Qualitatively speaking, I was able to document students' abilities to summarize, relating the reading to their personal lives, and express their ideas in writing. I also began to document student errors in grammar, punctuation, and spelling, and to use student work as the basis of explicit instruction of common areas of weakness. In the course of the past year, the students in this class have improved dramatically, as action research has allowed me to address their needs and to document their progress. This has felt especially significant in the current atmosphere of accountability. When testing times comes, certainly hope that my students will be deemed at standard. But if they are not, I will know more about their progress than the simple fact that they have failed. I will know that they still need to be teach the next level, and how I can best help them to get their action research has allowed me to see the bigger picture in my work. So, mo na siya ang mga experiences sa teacher. So, overall reflection to these experiences of teacher, it indicates that action research possess the skills of two types of professionals: teachers who work with students on a daily basis, and educational researchers who can assist us in assessing our teaching in a way that provide us with meaningful data. As we all know that teaching is a personal experience, teachers are thinking more about the tools they will use to assess their students' learning. So they use different strategies in order for them to learn. And with that, they can clearly see the results of their students' growth and learning. So that's all for our report today. Thank you and God bless.